Okay, so it's time for the sixth song from this album by Mustan Kuun Lapset. Album title is Valo, and this time the title for the track is Nostalgia, basically meaning nostalgia. Yes, and well, it kind of reflects to the content of the lyrics. I think that overall this whole song is kind of like the narrator is trying to remember how much full of life he was as a kid. Because kids are, well, they are full of life. They don't seem to stuck with sad moments or anything like that, and they are always so hopeful for the future, and well, being kids. and it kind of seems like that he's now getting a bit more mature and starting to get more sad almost, or probably maybe even depressed a little, or just becoming cynical like most of us come, at least a little bit, and that he almost like is envious to those who sort of can keep their joy of life to the end. But let's see how this goes. Anyway, the first sentence: should I tell about death? What do I know about it? And I put that question mark here in brackets because there is no actual question mark in those lyrics, but this is a question actually. What do I know about it? So it kind of should belong there, but it isn't. So, but who cares? And the next one: should I sing about darkness? I barely tolerate dark. Now this word here, hämärä, that means, the translation that I found was dark. There were a lot of other things. It can also mean, when you're doing something that people are not quite totally aware what it is, and they are quite, they are suspecting that it's something, negative, something bad, something probably illegal, that it also can refer to that. But the problem here is that he's talking about some sort of darkness, but this word here, pimeys, here, painted to something other form, but anyway, pimeys is darkness, really that darkness where you can't visually see anything. But hämärä is a word where you actually can see a little bit something, but so it's not full darkness, but almost. So I barely tolerate almost full darkness. Right. The next one: I am my own omen. That's straightforward. I barely your worth. That is, or hardly your worth. That is quite straightforward as well. Then the pre-chorus: once I felt its power, the flame started to smolder. So, and this is a flame of life or something like that. And he started to feel its power one day. It held a pen and split its paper. I'm not exactly sure what he's trying to say with that paper splitting, but maybe it's something very metaphorical, or maybe just some sort of beautiful sentence to add here without any special meaning to the story. Yes, I believe in every character or symbol. This word here, merkki, can actually mean a lot of things. Yes, it can, and it can be some sort of mark or whatever. But in this case, as he's talking about some sort of texts as well, it is definitely character or symbol. So it's a very technical term here in this case. Then here is a word that seems to be quite hard to translate. Okay, mana. I found 3 translations from the dictionary. There was that, it could be in English as well, mana, but it seemed to have very odd meanings that doesn't quite relate to here. I'm just checking out the dictionary here. Sorry for that. Well, it means that in Polynesian mythology, every person and animal has a power or strength, almost like a force in Star Wars. It's not that far-fetched to actually have it like that, but I think that there was another translation, a death with a capital letter, starting with a capital, and basically mean that same thing that are in video games, type of death, and which usually are translated in Finnish as mana. So I think that quite reflects best the meaning in here. So to death spell that opens. So he believes in every character in the death's own spell that opens. I don't know what it opens, but anyway, it is still opening something. Right, then the vision painted eyes and words composed mouth. So composing here, just like you would be composing a piece of music. That is the thing that säveltää means. Right. Then did you feel then, were you in spirit in those years when we were strong in life? This is actually quite essential thing here. Well, it is chorus, so it should be, but to the whole story, this kind of like sums up the whole thing. Some stayed in there to the beginning half of the path of life, apparently, without getting into a place where childhood finally dies. That is also quite straightforward. Now, actually this sentence here, polun alkava puoli, a polku, which is this first word here, means a path or trail, and so it's a trail of life or path of life. Now this word alkava means it means that it is something that begins. So it is the first part of the path. Now this is the tricky word here. Puoli. Puoli basically means a half. So if you split something in two, there are now 2 halves, right? But here we kind of see in this sentence is sort of a vibe that it doesn't exactly mean like the half of the path. He's talking about young people, let's say before before teenage years, or maybe still in the teenage years. Let's say the first 15 years, and well, these days for most of us it isn't half of our life, so it kind of seems like that here the half, or more likely this word puoli, it kind of sounds like just something fairly long time period in the first half, but not the entire first half, at least for most of us. So it is just some portion of our life, first portion, but we are not obviously quite sure how many percents of our life it actually is. But anyway, that's that. And then the final ones, the verse 2, should I tell about life? What do I know about it? So kind of like the first sentence where he was talking about death. Should I sing about love? Sing about love, more likely. I barely tolerate life. Okay, I am my own omen. I may be your worth. So this kind of like seems that here he has sort of surpassed some sort of point where he can look back and see that he has seen some life already. That maybe he already knows to death and he can tell about it, because he is now probably a bit older than in the beginning of the song. So he now knows some life, but doesn't exactly know if he knows it enough or something like that. And he has probably seen something about love, has seen some love, probably knows about it something, and he has become quite cynical here. I barely tolerate life. But he also seems to understand in the end that he now may actually be worth of the others. That even though at some point in your life it might seem like that you are kind of like you seem pointless to other people. It seems like that you are not worth anything to anyone. It probably isn't true. You are always worth something to someone, and maybe I am worth here. But he obviously isn't exactly sure right yet. So yeah, that's about that. Quite interesting, very quite beautiful lyricism here. Not too many odd choices, but I probably wouldn't have come up with these lyrics exactly. So something says that it's not too generic, but anyway. That's that. Hope you liked the explanation, and I hope you will like it in more technical terms and subscribe and stuff, and ask some other songs to explain. Okay, thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.